Yeah, in the building, the office, the lab, den, your mum's house, whatever you want to call it, with the serviced main SGX from Andy of Therapy. This one took a little bit more work than the number 2 pause, as it were. We had an electrical issue that we tried to get to the bottom of, which we did. Start from top to bottom. We removed the nut completely. We adjusted the truss rod so the neck was straight. And then we gave it a fret leveling, re-crown, polish, get all that fret wear out of there. Polish the board, roll the ends, get that all nice and ship shape and level frets. I went to the bridge, clean up of the bridge, sand and smooth the saddle slots so there's no pinching or bits that might snag and want to cause string snappages. We took all this off. I even went down to the fine tuning of getting all the grit and dirt out of these pickup mount ring screws, refreshed them because the driver was just slipping, but got a lot of the gunk out of there and kept the original screws. I deconstructed this pickup. Again, the same 14.7 ballpark K, big thick 5mm ceramic magnet, 4 conductor wire. And then, in fact, to strip that complete, I want to have a look inside there properly. Took a bit of the tape back and saw the magnet, measured the magnet without taking it out, the sizing of it, the physical size of it. Then we had a look at the electrics to find out what was going wrong, and it turned out that it was on this coil split switch. You've got your 4 conductor wire coming out of this pickup. You've got 2 wires for one coil, 2 for other. You join your finish and finish of each coil together, then one lead goes to signal out, one goes to ground with the bare shield, which is soldered to the base plate for grounding. Now you can either leave that joined 2 wires, tape them off and leave them as the humbucker, or you can send them joined out to a switch like this, which is a double pole, double throw, right? Single pole, single throw. Single pole, single throw. And what happened is that the wires are just frayed, tarnished and just come loose of the solder joint, but there was still a little bit whilst they were playing the show that kept touching the connection and bring, it was still live, and then it would break away a little bit and cut out, and then it would just pressing up against it really. That's what the issue was. So wire strippers, strip back the bare wire, twist and resolder that, and then join it back again with fresh solder to the switch. So now that's working. And then I flashed over, this is a replacement pot, but it's working fine. Flashed over some cold joints, took the jack socket out, gave that a good thorough cleaning with some switch cleaner Super 10 and some sandpaper. Sanded the there's a washer here which are all rusted to hell. Refreshed all that nice and tight. Flashed over some solder joints there. It's a very basic circuit. Check the wires at this end, everything's snug. Boom, it's back in the building working. And then we went and addressed the nut. Now rather than make a brand new nut, there's quite a lot of meat and they're a particular kind of material, let's say Corian, it's not bone, it's a synthetic material. And it just wanted, I'd done a repair on this last year on the road because the D open was buzzing on the first fret. So I've filled it and recut just to raise it, but what I did instead, to keep the original material there, because it's much more, it's more frictionless, if that makes sense, than a bone. Bone can bind quite a lot, and it's a natural material. It's got pits and hollows in it and stuff. This stuff is good. So we just cleaned it all up, reshaped the top, and then we made what's called a shim. So we glued a nice bit of mahogany thin veneer underneath to kind of stack the nut, make it taller. And then what that does, obviously, it makes the slots taller, the strings sit far off the board, and then we recut with nut files and refresh all the nut slots and recut to size and get rid of that low bit that was there, get rid of the glue and baking soda, which is a trick to use to fill nut slots, to a fresh surface. And we've done a great job, and we've refreshed that, reshape the top, take a bit more material off the top so the strings aren't sat too far in the slots, they're not sat right in there, they're raised out a little, and then recut. Beautiful. And just leave it a hair over size of what I really want it to be once it's played in, because tuning up and down, it's going to bed in, and then it's going to sit nice over a few shows. That's how I like to do it. Then we re-glue that in with some aliphatic resin, tight bond wood glue, something that's not gonna, a lot of these Gibson nuts, when they put in, they glue them in with some heavy stuff, and then when you want to remove them, they just chip and break, and you've got to scrape out the slot. This one came out easy. We glue it back in with an easy glue, so it will eventually be easy to remove if we need to do that. I took the acorn nuts, the truss rod adjuster nut off there, completely took that off, cleaned all the threads, put some lubrication on there, some wax, so it's going to re-thread back on, and it gives it a little protection from moisture. Same with the threads in here. Reassemble, set up with the strings that we want. I use the old original strings. If I'm doing some nut work, I'll keep the old strings on, so I can then just use those when I'm cutting into depth, so they can be wound, unwound, pull them out from the slots, yank on them, and then we're not stressing brand new strings too much. And then when I've got where I want to be, or I'm really close, then we'll restring afresh, and then we'll do the final dialing in with the new strings on. And I think we've got it. And then we are tuned up, pause, and intonated to D standards. You watch, this is now just going to be all sour and shit now I've had it on bench. Down position, we're in the coil split, up position, full humbucker. Down, it cuts off the screw coil, we've got the slug on. Up, it puts it in full humbucking mode. Little sour again, I've just been messing about, finessing the nut and stuff, but we'll give that a tune. We've just been doing the intonation. Cairns main SGX. The thing that I didn't mention about these is that they're a 24 fret. which just like I haven't really paid that much attention to all this time I've been servicing these and doing the live shows. But then when I was polishing all the frets, it's like, god damn, it's 24 fret. That's the SGX. That's what stands it apart. Single coil, 24 fret, Nashville bridge, one pickup, one volume tone. I'll say that again. One humbucker, one volume, one tone. They're a really powerful one of these as well. That's my bad playing, but it's my good, nay, sterling luthier services. And as we say here, brother, shit's easy, innit?